Starting off inside the Volvo now, and the first thing to do is to get all the seats laid down in the back just to see exactly how much room we've got to lay down. So I've just discovered that you can actually remove the seat bases on this Volvo. So it's a pretty clever design, because if you actually have the seat rest folded down completely, it tucks in here, which means the seat folds out of the way and actually goes flat, which is great. Still got a little bit of storage space underneath in there, which would be good, but that's basically flat, and we've got a bit of extra storage space there, which would be good perhaps for the water storage. Quite a bit of headroom. I'm 5'10", just over, and you can see that I've got a bit of foot room. So with the front seats slid all the way forwards, I think there's going to be plenty of room in here to sleep. That's where my feet are hanging over the edge, so roughly I would say from the tailgate there, right at the back, all the way forward, it's going to be a good 6 foot, if not about 6'2". We'll measure that just so you've got an exact idea. If it is, it's plenty, and that'll be great. Okay, so the good news is that the headliner does drop down enough for me to slide some insulation sheeting in there. That's going to be really good. The bad news is there's strengthening ribs all along, which is great for safety, but unfortunately my skylight that I want to fit here is 4 centimeters, 40 mil too wide. But I think if I just cut into the flange that's either side of the strengthening beam, should just about go in without affecting the integrity of the roof. So we're going to give it a go. That's what we're here for. We have discovered that, I don't know if you can see in there, but actually there's a much bigger space over the second row seats for the skylight, so there'll be no problem with it snagging anything. So we are going to cut there, so I'm just going to measure up now and get it in. We've thrown a tape measure above the headliner inside the vehicle, just to give us a space, a safe space, which is 46 inches from the back rail, runs all the way to the front here. So I'm going to mark it, then we're going to get the hole centralised, make sure we got it right, we're going to cut it and install the skylight. There's the aperture I've cut. It's fairly crude, but there's quite a lot of trim around the unit, so that should cover it up, hopefully, and underneath as well. So we're going to fit that now, do a test fit before we actually bond it in. Did a lot more today than I thought. It only took about an hour to fit the skylight. Just really wanted to have a look to see if I could put some insulation in there and if the skylight would fit, and it just seemed pretty easy. So there it is behind me, look, in place. It's actually quite surprising how much light it adds into the vehicle. I'll show you a little bit later what it does, but just briefly, it's got a screen here. You can actually fold down. It's got a little blind so that when you're at night, it's covered up. This fly screen comes off completely if you want it to, but otherwise you just have it in place. Now it pops up if you want more ventilation, as I said before. But you know, it's quite a factory trim. I mean, it was 56 quid or something. It's got ventilation here, so you know, you've always got an airflow through the vehicle, which is what I wanted it for. Lets in a little bit of light. You can pop it up if you wanted to do a brew in here or something, and there was a lot more steam rather than just condensation from your breath. That would help if it's raining outside, rather than undo the windows and let the rain come in. So I've bonded it in with some RTV from Worth, which is great stuff, and that should keep it watertight. I've had to push it with a screwdriver to make sure the roof lining lifts enough, and just so you can see a squeed of, a bead of silicone sort of just poking out. So that looks good. We'll let it dry off, and then tomorrow we'll take it for a spin, take the car out, make sure it's not too noisy. Shouldn't be. Looks like a police car, which is kind of cool, ish, I suppose. But anyway, it's fairly stealth. When it's not raining, we'll go out and have a look properly, and I'll show it to you. Cheers.